It just left my head, but it's where the skin and the muscle things just start choking. Scleroderma, and she was just exemplified this case. She was, I think, in Indiana or Ohio, but a scleroderma case, young woman. Scleroderma, you just start just choking you off. Your skin just squeezes you like a sponge. Well, acidosis, of course, and so she was going through, getting better and better and better and better, and everything was good. All her blood work was looking good. She's getting better and better, and I said, "Oh, well, that was another one done." Because we've never failed with a scleroderma case. And so then she called, "Oh, my symptoms are back. They're raging back." And I said, "Just relax. This is typical in detox, that toward the end, the symptoms can come raging back." Sure enough, she held in there, and a couple of weeks later, boom, she's done. So just remember, some of these healing crises, you feel your pain worse. That's kind of typical. You always want to have traveling pain and healing crisis. If you're having a healing crisis in the knee and it's painful and it's staying there and staying there, that's not good. That means your diet is not good enough to take it over the hill, or you're not getting into those levels lymphatically, and it's getting worse. There's only two times really you can look at this when you have a symptom, and that is when you're creating it and when you're uncreating it. Believe it or not, same symptom. So one of the questions on my exam, what's the difference between a cold and flu-like symptom and a detoxification symptom that's the same? Nothing. One's when you create it and one's when you eliminate it. Lao Tzu. I love that. Yeah, the Tao. I love all that. I miss being away from wrapping myself every day in the cloak of all the masters, but I have to be one myself. I learned years ago the follower or the seeker of God never finds God. There's a time where you have to step up and be that which is, and let go of the separation, even Master Chila syndromes and stuff like this. So just realize that we're in a time where you all need to wear the robe and be that which is yourself. Don't always be the follower, and that's what I'm trying to do to you, is step in the light yourself. You don't need to seek others with it, or you can for the friendship of it. And someone gave this gentleman's name, which I've never heard of, a beautiful enlightened soul. There's a lot of great enlightened people. It's nice when you can live in a situation where you can maintain that. This allows me to learn how to maintain a sense of God consciousness no matter what's going on external to me. It's easy to go to a cave and do it, but when you're applied under pressure, and it reminds me of that little 13 or 14-year-old years ago that could give people the light. He had crowds of people, and when he came to America, he was famous for a short period of time, but then he got into women and Mercedes-Benz, and then he lost his power, and so his group kind of pulled him away. Well, that's the issue. Can you maintain your God consciousness in the worst of situations? And that's always the lesson. Because after you learn the now and you learn what it takes to stop thinking and stop desiring, because your thoughts are your obstructions to the flow of your consciousness, and then your desires are your ball and chains that lock you to this world. So you want to be free. True spirituality is really a freedom. A freedom from all things that are of creation. And as you let go, you become free. Because I look at this hoarding show and stuff, and these people are so locked, so lost into creation, they're so unstable. And it's like they'll be a while connecting themselves to the Supreme Being, because all of this matter stuff is actually nothing but states of consciousness. It's just the illusion that is. So, let me see, I have lymph problems, but I do fix them. I've been 100% raw foodist for 18 months now, and I use my rebounder daily. That's kind of weird when I got into herbs. I can tell you this, that you will see, you can be a raw foodist, but you'll see why I push fruits. and even water fasting. So someone asked me a question of difference of water fasting and fruits. And that water fasting is like taking 1 day of water fasting is like ripping a month of detox off of you. It is possible. You know, there's all types of thoughts of every day you fast, you're taking a month off of or a year off of the days that you created. For sure, you can unwind things faster than you create them. There's no question, which is a blessing, because if not, things would be much more serious of a problem. So yeah, you can get well faster than you can get sick. But I think when you're up at the level of water fasting or fruit juice fasting or fruits, you're all up there at the top of the mountain, you know. And I think there's times where you might want to do some water fasting. It's always a trip. And then you might have times where you want to do the fruits. I like the fruits because of the magnetics and the chemistry, the astringents. I can tell you, you know, it's not just me. I've detoxified, you know, well over 100,000 people in my life, and I can tell you, fruits are the kings. If you're having trouble with fruits, then work yourself toward that. You know, do your vegetables, vegetable juices, but you'll find you'll always plateau, and you'll have to dig deeper. So even though you've been raw for 18 months here, you might need to go deeper. You might need to do some water fasting. You might need to do a 40 or 50-day grape fast or lemon juice fast. You know, kick it up there. Don't just do your 2 or 3 days. Get up there to 10s, 20s, 30 days, you know. This is sometimes what it takes, you know. Remember, acidosis creates an anionic environment, and that environment is a dehydrated, coagulated environment. This idea that you're going to drink a bunch of water and rehydrate yourself is stupid. It's insanity, and I think those that have been doing that realize that. And the more acidic you are, you can get bloated and gain weight and be unhappy and be miserable. And water just enforced that. That's why that in these deeper lymphatic problems, I like the fruit juices too, because you got astringents, you got the alkaline chemistry, and you have a much better hydrating process, or a much better cationic process to help the body to get that. Plus, we got to consider the damage of the adrenals and the kidneys to this. This is why I don't see how people can do it nowadays without the herbs. I've done this so long, it's like I would feel naked without the herbs. It's like, oh God, man, I can't, because we don't have the quality of food. Now, maybe if you were in Mexico or Guatemala, or you were in Costa Rica or somewhere where you could pick fresh fruit, maybe, you know. But you gotta get deeper there. Let's see, riding a bike as a child was devastated because some brain chemical nerve impulses was already compromised from genetics. I don't know who you're talking about, your husband or something. So gravity clonics again, yeah. Is this your husband or something? He's often wondered if it had a slight case of Asperger's because of the tremors, anxiety since childhood. Tremors and anxiety, you can go right to the adrenals, of course, and the autonomic nervous system here. You might want to look at the parathyroid, too. You pointed out things in your video that, yeah. Basal cell carcinoma, he was convinced. Okay, I'm going to take him to make a video. Good. Dig deeper into this guy. Pop up the adrenal glands, check the parathyroid gland there. Now, here's one. Could you please make a video in regards to bladder cancer? My dad is in. Yeah, you've asked that. No, that's okay. Bladder cancer. What causes it? What is cancer? That's one thing that when someone says immediately about a cancer, let's forget the word disease and let's understand what cancer is. Cancer is a damaged cell, a damaged mutated cell. In 99% of the cases, acids damage cells. In 99% of the cases, the acids that damage the cells are from the cells themselves. Yeah, I suppose that, and of course, lactic acid, everything else from the cells themselves. And I suppose uric acid, which is a fungal issue or a protein issue, could also damage the cells, no question. So you have some external acids, obviously, that can damage cells. So you're coming back to the lymph system that deals with the acids of the body sewer system, and you're right at the sewer system itself. You're right at the bladder. But the bladder, even though part of the sewer system is nothing but a bunch of cells that has a lymph system in it. All things have a lymph system in it, including the kidneys and the bladder and the adrenals, which control the elimination of the lymph system. So same thing goes with bladder cancer as any other cancer. Remember, damaged cells. not the cancer. Lose the idea of cancer. Too bad we can't find another name for this and get out of this stupid mystique of cancer. I still can't believe that 90% of the population hasn't a clue what it is and still thinks it's some mysterious disease medical doctors someday will find a cure for. I just find that amazing. J-Lo fell into that, and now she's pumping for money. Let's all get together and donate. Donate to the same pockets that have been getting rich all these years. Shame on you guys. Shame on your ignorance. Wake up. Hit the fruit. Hit the fruit, and the bladder's right there, so it should be an easy cancer for him to take care of there. We get a lot of them in here. Someone said, I mentioned about the world overpopulated, somebody made a comment that that's Nazi thinking. Well, my friend, I don't think so. I tell you what, I'm not a Nazi, and I can tell you that the World Health Organization has made that statement many times. How many people are out of work? Not just in this country, throughout the world. So you can keep having babies all you want if you don't think that's Nazi thinking. I think it's compassionate thinking when you realize that the people can only handle so much. This earth can only handle so many people. We can migrate like animals. You take a look at the ants, they end up killing themselves. That's what happens. So not Nazi thinking whatsoever. It's reality. Take a look around. We're so populated, there's no work for people. These people are suffering. They're starving everywhere. No overpopulation. Ethiopia, no overpopulation. Very serious problems, my friend. And like I said, we need to find a natural birth control that won't hurt anybody, that'll make people, that'll help with this and educate people and start developing superior beings. Now that might be some Nazi thinking there. Wasn't it Hitler that thought that he might like to regenerate tissue into a superior race? Interesting. You said people needs help with kidneys. Are you saying to take your kidney formula? Absolutely. Absolutely take the kidney formulas. Take whatever formulas you can find for the kidneys. Get on the fruits, berries, and melons. Those are all good for kidneys. And in the greens, of course, dandelions, super for kidneys, beets. Someday, that was a lot of years ago, someone said, try a 3-day beet juice fast. Oh, I think I told you about that before. I mean, that was horrible. I feel like my kidneys were going to come out my you-know-what. And so that was a little bit strong. So if you add beet in there with dandelion and parsley and stuff, that's really a good adrenal and kidney cleanser. Add your fruits, berries, and melons. They're much more astringent. Lemons, and really start working on your kidneys. Get kidney formulas. I use I have 2 kidney formulas. I use number 1 and number 2 nowadays. I mean, we're in such a race to get pain out of us and tumors out of us and all this stuff and damaged cells called cancer and all this stuff that I use 2 kidney formulas and 2 lymphatic formulas. And I make sure 1 lymphatic formula is in capsules and 1 is a tincture. Because the wall of the bowel, look at the interstitial lymphatic constipation we're seeing in the wall of the gut. Look at all the IBSs and the leaky guts and all this kind of stuff like that. We're lymphatic up real bad. So somebody said whey and dairy products and all that was good for us, didn't they? Oh. Thank you for liking my video 6-string. Try a 12-string. I love them the most. I tell you, I really got into the 12 strings. They were good. Your dad has Parkinson's at 80. He has the frozen kind. I almost think that might be better. I have had sleep apnea for a while. I would like to find out the best ways to heal both.